Hi. Okay, today we're talking about something that is my favorite. Is I feel many of us are just way too loyal to our companies. It is not your daddy's company.
Yeah.
You may have a bit of shares in the company, but you are not the owner of this company. If the company sinks, you're still gonna be okay. And I think we're loyal to a fault. That's my statement. I'm putting it out there.
I'm trying to think. Have I been too loyal in the company? Yes. Okay, let me think. Okay. I don't think it's being too loyal.
Okay. My question is this.
Yeah.
Is there a scenario that you feel a company deserves kind of your loyalty, or you're not going to leave this company because they've done A or B or C?
Well, when you say it like that. So I guess for me, it's kind of like, a company that's really flexible. You need the time off to do certain things, things that you do outside of work, and they're really flexible about it, right? And you kind of feel like, no, my manager's been really good to me, and they've allowed me to do extra, whether it's do courses, not things that are associated with work, but just things that are for your extra curriculum, or just things that you do with your family, whatever. And then maybe you feel a bit like, I don't want to just jump ship right now. I feel like you've done me a solid. So maybe in that regard, is that loyal? Isn't that just good behavior?
So yes and no. So I personally believe that if a company has created a work environment that is good for you, you're staying there because you've created a work environment that's comfortable for you. Because a company has maybe given you time off in the past, you're not indebted to that company. So I thought there's two distinctions. You should never feel indebted to a company because you are doing work and they're paying for your work that you do. And so I feel the problem is many of us feel indebted to, I can never leave because this company was here during these period of times. Where quite a lot of companies, if they could get someone else that could do your job, they would.
That's a big leap.
The thing is a bit of a hard one because that, especially where you've had to take bereavement leave or something like that, something very emotional like that. And then, the company have been understanding, you're thinking, I can't up and leave kind of thing. But I feel like, I know you're saying that, it's not your daddy's company, whatever, but sometimes do you have to leave? You don't, why do you need to...
So my thing is, you don't have to leave a company if you don't want to.
Okay.
Right? If there's another company that sees the value that you bring and is willing to increase your pay by 50%, then you're doing yourself a disservice staying with a company because you feel indebted to them.
All right. Okay, I like that. Okay, I like that. But I mean, I don't know. Okay, so what do you define as being loyal? Because I know that I've been in roles where I've known that I've been there longer than I need to be there, but the reason why I think for me it was more a personal thing is because when you go into a role in your head, you're like, this is what I want to achieve by the time I've left this role. So I felt like I hadn't achieved that, so I stayed there for a longer amount of time so that I could achieve these certain goals. So is that being too loyal?
That doesn't feel too loyal because that's about your personal goals, right?
Right. Okay. Why do you want to achieve those goals?
Okay, it's a good question. It's a good question. So part of it was I want to prove myself, and because
to who? Yourself, to yourself, or to the company?
All right, guys, you're drilling in. Okay, basically to the company. Yeah,
okay,
I'm trying to prove myself.
Okay, cool. Okay, so a number of things, right, is like imposter syndrome. And so some of us feel, I need to make sure I know this at this level.
Yeah.
So, I need to make sure I'm perfect in this regards, or I need to do A, B, and C. Or some of us even believe the next company won't accept me unless I've done this or done that.
That is
right. It's not true. Let the company decide that. Why are we making decisions for these things, like this made up decision? Like let the other company decide what you need to have Like, we're making these decisions saying, "Are they not going to accept me?" And the other companies, desperate, thinking, "I wish I had someone that could do 50% of this role.
Yeah.
I'll train them on the other 50%. We need someone, and we'll pay them X amount of money," which is typically 30-40% more than you're getting paid right now.
Do you know what? I feel like it's like what you said is good, because if I look at it in hindsight, I definitely stayed there longer than I needed to, and it just done me a disservice. Like, I didn't need to.
But when you say you did a disservice, in what way?
Okay, so a number of ways. So like, it wasn't a good working environment. So in terms of like mental health, physical health wasn't good. And then secondly, it was just like, I just added months and years into my CV for no reason. Like time. Yeah, because like basically how the project worked out and how things were working out, the things I wanted to achieve, there just wasn't scope to achieve that anymore. And I knew that quite early on, but I was still trying to like do things and all of that. And then at the point of when I was leaving, that's when they were like, "Oh, actually this opportunity has come." I said, yeah, you lot are too late. And I just left. Do you know what I mean? But it was like, if you look at the time that I wasted, I could have been in a more valuable do you know what I mean? Achieving real goals or, I think
what you both have said is really key, because the fact of the matter, there's probably a lot of people that do this whole piece around, I need to achieve X, Y, and Z before I leave, but they don't do the piece around, how's this affect my mental health? How's this affect my well-being? Like, if everything's well and good and you can stay there, it doesn't do you any harm, but at the same time, you should definitely be looking in the market. Like Francis said, see if they will accept you at your current level. Yeah. One thing we always forget is when we're in a role, majority of the time, we are given new things to do and we have to learn it, which means that every job you go into, you're probably going to have to learn something you didn't know before anyway. So that whole imposter syndrome and that fear about, oh my God, I don't know everything. You just need to have the capability to learn. Just know that you have the aptitude to learn and pick up new things. And that's more important. I think I really like what you said, because I feel like a lot of times when applying for jobs, we look at it and we feel like we need to do 100% of the skills on that job. And the thing, the reason why that's like a bad example is that as a recruiter, as a hiring manager, if I'm going to go for the person that's got 100% of the skills, they're not going to stay there for long. They're going to get bored. They need to be part of the role they need to develop in, or that they don't know, or something new that they're learning, that's more attractive. So I think guys, remember that. Don't always look at it like, oh my gosh, they're not going to employ me because I don't meet 5 out of the 15 bullet points. Like, it just doesn't. That's really key.
I just want to double down on that, right? Like, what's so key is they may have been good to you in the past, and they may have been a good working environment previously. If they're no longer a good working environment, like, your mental health needs to be at the top. And like, ultimately, I dare say, if you can get away with just leaving certain jobs without having another job, if it's affecting your mental health, then, and it means, I may have to leave without even securing another job, so be it, because your mental health is everything, and that's going to give you the capabilities of getting the next job.
So if you're in that same job and your mental health is being challenged, stretched, it's going to impact your ability to search elsewhere for jobs. Sometimes you literally just need that clarity, that space, that time to do it. Even if it means taking that time off work, getting signed off, and you just have that time, and in that time you use it to look elsewhere, there's nothing wrong with it.
There's nothing wrong with it at all, especially if you've been signed up for stress. It doesn't look bad that you've gone to look for another job, especially if it's work-related stress. So don't,
so, and the reason why I asked this question is that some of us are, it sounds sad to say, but are in a working relationship that is abusive. You know what I mean? And it's like you're taking it out on your kids, you're taking it out on your family, you're taking it out on your partners, your friends, it's affecting other aspects of your life.
It is true. If it encroaches on your private life, it's actually time to go. Something has to change.
There's a study, right, that says that kids are more likely to be bullies if their parents are working in a stressful environment rather than their parents be working long hours. So it's like, because of that, it means that these kids meeting you after a stressful work day affects them to the extent that they're going to affect other people's lives. And so it's affecting society. Right? So it's important. So really, your work environment isn't just affecting you; it's affecting everybody around you.
Yeah.
And so take care of yourself.
Yes.
Don't be loyal to a fault.
Yeah.
You know.
Don't think and wait for it to get better, because you know what could happen. You just get worse.
Yeah. So, and there's so many opportunities out there. You're skilled. You're gifted. There's more for you. You're not desperate. There's many people that need you. And just put yourself out there. All right. Thank you very much for listening to us. Send us a DM if you want us to talk about a scenario or your personal scenario or you need advice. Like and subscribe and share this with other people. All right. Thank you very much. Bye.